don't even make a mistake here, but the owner of the pocket pinger, right? The one that helped create this thing, made the design come off the ground. That you're the guy, am I right?
Yep, yeah, yeah. So there was a product that was out before the pocket pinger that pinged precious metals like this, but it had sharp plastic tips, a hard hammer, and it cost $100. So I redesigned it, actually reinvented it. I did get the patent for it. So it's just safer and easier to use. So even if you only have one hand, you can use this thing. Um, yeah, so it's an innovative remake, basically.
And now I see these out there. A lot of dealers have these because it's one of the tools that we need to use. I think that when we go to find out if our metals are real or not, we have these kind of devices at our disposal. And so I say that you got to have your red book of coins. I think that you also need to have a pocket pinger or the knowledge of being able to ping a coin these days. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's the entry point to test your precious metals and actually get like a result that's trustworthy. Doesn't need to cost thousands of dollars. And I think that everyone should be testing their metals. Yeah, especially people that are buying and selling coins. At the very least, they should be doing weight, a ping, and a magnet or dimensions, or weight, dimensions, and a ping for sure. And fakes are kind of rare, but they're common enough to where I'm getting an email at least every month from somebody that caught another one.
Oh yeah, I mean the counterfeits are out there constantly. I have an entire box full of counterfeits. I'll show that off here in a minute. But I guess we should probably let it ring a little bit, right? Let people know what we're talking
Oh
about.
yeah, yeah. Let's see if it works.
Let's see if
Yeah,
it works.
exactly. Sure. Okay, so this is a fake American Silver Eagle. Oh baby, man down. Hold on, I just spilled my water. But
Oh yeah, that makes it better. Yes. Does it work underwater? Let's find out.
yeah, we can ping a wet one here. But so I'll clean that up in just a second. And so here is a fake one.
Oh
Can you
yeah,
hear that?
perfect.
Beautiful. Let me grab a different stack.
That was a fake one. Let me do my what I believe is to be a real one while you're trying to do that. I'm gonna ping this thing right here. It's Morgan Silver Dollar. Here we go. Can you hear it?
I heard the initial ping, but I lost the resonance. Yeah, same thing again.
Maybe my sound is not as good as yours,
You
but
got some.
it sounds great to me. It resonates for a long time. In fact, I ended up cutting it off by talking.
Ah, okay. We got some shipwrecks over here on the table.
That's awesome. Dude.
We
I'll
got
show
some.
this real quick while you're playing the cleaning dude.
Yeah.
But this is a cigar box that I have, and these right here are my collections of fakes that people have sent me in the community. This is not stuff that I found myself. This is stuff that people have sent me that they've got burnt on, and or they've wanted me to educate people on. So tons of
Cool.
stuff. And some
Wow.
of it I melt to find out what's underneath it. And you can see right here, it looks like a maple leaf that just had nothing but copper underneath.
That is quite the collection you have there.
Oh yeah,
That looked like a lot of work you put
it's
into
deep.
destroying that one.
This is over the years.
Yeah, that's incredible.
All fakes. From bars, this is a fake bar, and you can see where I've scratched it right there. And you can see the copper or bronze underneath. You got, these are faked a lot, these pandas.
Old school ones, yeah. I haven't seen those before.
Morgan dollars, maple leaves, fake. Even has the radial lines from a maple leaf on it, and it even has luster. You can see the luster.
Yeah.
Actually, a fake coin. People say, "Oh, get junk silver," because they don't fake that. Here's a fake 1917. You can see the copy on it right there.
These are faked quite a bit nowadays,
Look at this. This right here could burn a lot of people. Small gold.
Ooh, little ruble. I didn't know they made those.
Rough. People just trust those to be real.
Yeah.
This right
I've never
here,
seen those.
people know, but nobody believes this one right here. Look at this.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, they actually have one of those that's actually made out of real silver.
That's wild. And that's trouble right there when it's made out of real silver.
It says copy on the back, but it's still what someone took the time to do that. Okay.
Fake buffalo
We're,
gold. Somebody pays $3,000 now for buffalo, and they could get a fake one. But luckily, this one says copy. If it doesn't say copy, are you going to know?
yeah, exactly. So yeah. So if you have a good eye and you know what you're looking at, you can catch a lot of these fakes. And but if you're new to collecting or you're buying casually, or if you're just a steady stacker, like the knowledge base isn't always there. So it's really good to test all your stuff,
I,
regardless of the level. Yeah.
I'd say in my collection, Morgan dollars seem to be the most common one. Look at this. This is fake. Fake funnel web.
Ridiculous.
Who would have
That's
thought
actually
that,
a pretty
right?
good looking one too. Yeah, with the tarnish on there, makes it look real.
What an obscure coin. I mean, it's not obscure because it's like kind of like, it's a collector coin for sure. A lot of people know about these, but what a weird coin to go ahead and try to fake.
Yeah,
That is
exactly.
absolutely.
Yeah, and maybe that's why they fake it, because it costs them at least $300 to make the tool, right?
You would think.
Yeah, and then plus the time to.
I don't know. And here, look at this. Fake JFK.
Yeah,
Huh? The files are just released. Now this is a fake coin. Crazy. Yeah, all kinds of stuff though. But it seems like Morgan dollar is one of the big, often fake. What is this? Oh, this is trouble right here too. These are faked a lot.
that's silly. Is that the double die? Can't really see. Oh no, 22.
This is the no D, so they end up just probably scratching off the D.
Crazy.
Peace dollars, fake. It's rough. So you gotta know what you're doing. Are you cleaned up?
Yeah, I think so. I
All
mean, some
right.
of the stuff might still be wet.
I want to hear some more from what you got because yours sounds a lot better.
Um, sure. You want to go jump? Okay, we'll do like a combination of everything. So I really want to help who's ever watching this right now, regardless of their experience level. A lot of people might know this stuff already, but I really want to help people test their precious metals at home using like simple things like a magnet, a scale, maybe a caliper, and a ping test. So I've got a bunch of different demonstrations on the table, kind of demonstrating all of those and why it's important to check more than just one test. Let's just start with the magnet. So the magnet is super useful. It's not going to catch everything, but it will catch a majority of the fakes out there. So this is a real silver bar. This is an N52 magnet, which is a super powerful laboratory strength magnet. And if you're buying one of these, you want to make sure you buy it from a seller that knows magnets, because these things they'll say N52 and they're not really N52. But this is really this is a real silver bar, and you can see that the magnet slides down slow. And that's what you want to see when you are sliding down silver here. Here is a copper bar, and this is why the magnets aren't perfect, and because the copper bar is also going to slide slow.
So that becomes trouble if you were to silver plate that copper bar.
Yeah. So only using a magnet isn't going to be great. So here's a real 90% silver Morgan dollar, slides slow. Here's a copper Morgan dollar, also slides slow. So you can't just use the magnet test. And when you wave it over, same kind of thing. You'll feel a little resistance, but copper and silver have really similar magnetic properties. Now here's a brass bar. It's going to slide faster.
A little faster.
A little faster, yeah. So you can tell brass for sure. Here's what everyone thinks when they're going to use a magnet that's going to happen. Like, not all fakes are going to do this. And this is just like straight up magnetic.
Right.
And this is a fake Royal Canadian Mint bar. This one has it's magnetic. The seller that sold this to me told me it wasn't magnetic, but when I got it in, it is. But the actual metal underneath, I think, is brass, maybe copper. And then they use a nickel layer in between the silver and the brass to help the plating stick better. So we're actually grabbing onto that nickel.
You really want to use the rare earth magnet. They probably are using like some kind of like little fridge magnet or something.
Yep.
But the rare earth magnet's really
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So N52 is the grade that you want to get. That's like the most powerful one that makes sense cost wise. So and then there's that, and then here's just I think this one's made out of brass. You can see. So this should be silver, but slides fast.
I will say with those rare earth magnets, be very careful because I've cut myself. I've done some crazy things with them. They've scared me. So they're real deal magnets.
Yeah, and if you can get one that's epoxy coated, because it can scratch your metal if you do it like 100 times on there, and so the epoxy one's a little bit softer with rounded edges. Something to think about. yeah, so you should test your metals. Of course, be careful.
So that's one tool, right?
Yep.
And then the ping
Yes.
device, you got bars up there. Can you even work for the bars?
Yeah. So this is an app we developed. So we've got a custom formula for bars. This app's included with the Pocket Pinger purchase. But if you come in here, this is one of the things I've never seen done in an app before. Ben, the lead developer on this, has a master's degree in physics. He's been processing signals through mobile microphones since 2015. He's got one of the first apps in the App Store with the spectrum analyzer. Like, he knows microphones and he knows physics really, really well. And he was actually able to somehow, in my mind, magically get this formula into the application here. Each one of these dotted lines is a different resonant frequency that a silver bar will make. And you can actually come in here and you can type in the width of the bar, the weight of the bar, the height of the bar, and you can measure the corner radius right here. And you can actually test 1 ounce silver bars in the app. This is new to apps for sure. And this is still phase one. Eventually, I want to take this into like the larger bars, is up to like the 100 ounces, in various shapes and things like that. But right now, we've got 1 ounce bars in here. We could test all of these, but we'd have to measure them out.
Now, with the app, you're saying that if you buy the Pocket Pinger, the app is included. Is that like you like for like a month? Like, are you paying like a subscription fee? Like, what are we talking?
No, yes. So 100% included with the purchase of the Pocket Pinger. We're the only ones doing that. So if somebody buys the Pocket Pinger, they get full access to the app. They own it, right? So there's not going to be the customer that this is for is not necessarily somebody that's pinging 100 coins a day that needs a subscription service. This is going to be more for somebody that's like Sack and Silver. They get a coin or a bar every couple months or whatever, so they don't have to tie themselves into a subscription. I think it's kind of lame anyway. For something like this, for sure.
Well, so that's a big benefit. If you just buy the Pinger, you can get that app, that helps you out, save you a lot of money down the long run. You know what I mean? On missing fakes, basically, like getting by the counterfeits. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, one of the other cool things about this is you can actually use it offline. Yeah, so we're the only app doing that too. So you can be at a coin store or a coin shop or whatever, or coin show or at a flea market, and you can still use this app.
That's good for people that want to, remain on the down low and not have Big Brother watching them go to coin stores.
Yeah, so here,
Stay offline.
Yeah. So you click sync. That's going to download a copy to your phone.
Here's another question.
Yeah.
All right. So we had a coupon code a while back, right? Speg, SPEG, and that saved the customers a little bit of money. If they use the coupon code, they're not going to get the app, right? Because they're saving too much money that way.
No, yeah, they still would. Yeah, so they save 10% if they use code SPEG, and they'll get the Pocket Pinger and a stack stick and full access to the Stack Tools app. Yep.
I feel like you're being taken advantage of now.
Yeah, everyone tells me I'm a little crazy to do that. So I think like my strategy with business, it's a small business, but it's to just give the customer what they want, and then hopefully that ends up working out for us in the long run.
All right, can you ping a real versus a fake so we can hear the difference?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So I think if I talk, this thing cuts out maybe. So we'll do a fake Morgan here. We'll do it with the app too. So one of the things we were trying to do when we developed this app was to make it visual. So somebody, even if they can't hear, could still come in here. So they're deaf or whatever, they could still come in here and see if their coin is real or not.
I don't know that I get a lot of deaf people watching my videos, but I've done these videos on the Pocket Pinger before, and I get a lot of older people that watch my videos, and they say that their hearing has gone, right, or they got tinnitus or whatever the case may be, so they can't hear the ping on the video. So this app will help that.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. So here is the Morgan dollar. So we're going to hit click start. I don't know if you could hear that, but so all 5 of the peak resonances were heard in the right spot, and then it had the ping time down to there, and it gave us a pass. It says confirm size and weight. We can actually measure the diameter right here on the screen.
Oh wow!
Yep.
Wow, you went the distance.
Yep. And then you can throw it on the scale too, and you'll see that this one's actually perfect weight, 2673. So then put a fake one in here.
Well, one of the big benefits, real quick, was to with the red book is a lot of people don't know, but you can take the coin and put it up to the same coin in the red book, and it's the same diameter. They did that on purpose in the red book of coins, but now you've put that right into your app, which is amazing.
Yeah, and it's way more accurate. It's more accurate than the human eye. So the problem with the on-screen dimensions test isn't going to be like the actual size. It's actually that our eyes can't see as good as the screen. So each one of these pixels or each millimeter is like 10 pixels. It's kind of ridiculous. So as long as you got to come in here, you got to set your device to the right device. It's actually X6 plus whatever, and then it'll be correct. But so you want to come and set that in there, and just make sure you pick the right one, and that'll save when you're in the app. And if we don't have the device that you're using, send me a message, and we'll get that added. Okay, so that's the real one. Everything looks perfect, and we'll do the fake one here. And you can see it's just missing. Now I spoke. Yeah, so it failed.
Now, when it says test failed, that's not like 100,000% meaning that that coin is fake. That just means that this particular test did not work on this.
Yeah, so yeah, if you get a fail, I would say test it again for sure.
It's not doing. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So just to show you the real one again. So you see these peak frequencies?
Right.
They have to be in the shaded areas to be a pass, and they will. I've never seen a real one miss this bad. That would be like a severe bug in the system, or just a bug, I guess, whatever. But I've never seen anything like that. Okay, so here's the real one again. Pass all sound tests. That was kind of a weak ping. I'm only using the one hand, but there you go. So you see the double in the darker area, and then each one matches.
Yeah.
Here's something cool to show to you since we're doing this. So this is a 85%, 84% fake Morgan. I think it's 84%. So this is a fake Morgan dollar. So 90% is what our system is saying right there in those shaded areas. So here's one that's about 6% difference. Do you see how it missed?
Yeah.
So we gave it a caution score. So when you come in here and you click caution, so it doesn't look like much visually, but to a frequency, those are all missing pretty bad. So we give that a caution. We come in here and you can see counterfeit made from a similar or different alloy or other unknown. So this is 8 standard deviations away from where it should be. There you go. Quinting does the perfect. Yeah, so this is 5% off, about or 6% off, and it's missing all those shaded areas.
So you
Some
a,
pretty cool.
a half and half kind of situation there because it's like well, there's some silver in there. It sounds like, but it's not supposed to. It's not the right alloy.
It missed our match with our database. It's 8 standard deviations away. Yeah.
Well, that's really cool.
So 3
Um,
standard deviations is 97% of Morgan dollars should fall within those shaded areas. Another 3% should be right after out of that, and we give that an okay. And then anything beyond that would be a pretty severe miss as far as statistics. So, but it's still close enough. So we're like maybe, right? So we give it a caution.
there's been some people that have reached out to me and they're like, do you really bring that with you when you go to shops? And I'm like, absolutely. It fits into your pocket. It's called the pocket pinger. It fits right into your pocket. And I've actually been to like some shops here locally where I'm like, I don't trust that trade dollar. I'm like, do you mind if I just ping it? And they're like, go ahead. And I ping it. I'm like, yep, that's a fake coin. I mean, because trade dollars are faked a lot.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. That's
So,
cool. Yeah,
so
I've done that
saved
before too, where
me.
you call people out that have fakes.
Well, it's the person's out of business now, so I could actually even like say the business name if I wanted to. But
Yeah,
it's like I was like telling him, I was like, hey, sorry you got burnt on that, but I'm not getting burnt too. Like this
yeah,
thing actually saved me many times too, the pocket pinger. Because here's another thing too. Is another tool is the Sigma Metalytics,
yeah.
right? A lot of shops have this. A lot of people use this. It's very expensive. It's almost $800-900 right now.
Hmm.
This doesn't fit in your pocket. You can bring it to a shop, but it's something to lug around, right? Going to a coin show with that's something to lug around. This thing literally fits into your pocket and it can help you save a lot of money. And you get the app included when you buy it. So it's a pretty good, bargain, I would say.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, yeah, I agree.
Um,
Yeah, it's interesting how many shops actually have, or like, have you ever been to a flea market and walked around?
Oh yeah.
Every time I've been to a flea market, there's been at least one seller that has something that's fake.
This one guy had a fake 8 real right there in the front of his window, and I was
It
like
was like
pointing
his
it
bring
out
the
to him and
customers
stuff,
in
and
piece.
he's like, oh, it's legit. And then he took it and hid it.
Oh, geez. Okay.
I'm like, man, you got to be careful with those flea markets. You know, not to say anything bad about the good flea market sellers, but there's some people out there just trying to make a buck, and they'll get some unsuspected people for sure.
Yeah.
So okay, you have the bars. You said you can test bars. I know you don't want to use the app because you have to like it's going to take a while to get it all inserted in there. But can you test a real bar versus a fake bar for us?
Um, yeah. Yeah. So this is actually a scary one. So this is a fake bar that looks pretty legitimate. I'll throw it on the scale. I don't know if you guys can see the weight there. I think I got it set in grams though. So 31.25. That is the fake one. And so this is the weight test actually. So and this is 31.33, and that's the real one. So the fake one is actually closer to 1 ounce than the fake one. Um, which is normal. There's always going to be some kind of variation. So let me just put in ounces to make it more clear. So here's the real one, 1.008, 1.007 ounces, Troy. And we'll put the fake one on there, 1.005. And so just looking at these things, if you didn't have like any experience, you would see this and you would weigh that and you think, hey man, that's the right weight. It's maybe real. And okay, we'll go ahead and put it in the finger here. So there's two ways to use a pocket finger. You can ping it
Okay.
like that. It sounds kind of beautiful, really. That is the fake one. I'll grab the real one again.
Much different tone.
Yeah, this one sounds way better.
Now, I want some people to know that we're limited to what the audio is picking up here. We're on Instagram right now. We're limited, but when you ping a coin, if you can hear it well, the resonation just goes on and on and on, and like especially like a Morgan dollar or like you mentioned before in other videos, like 925 sterling, it just goes on forever.
Yeah, so the more pure a metal is, and this actually translates in my experience from not just in silver, but for other metals as well. So if there's metals that are mixed with copper tend to ring much longer than the metals that don't have any copper inside of it, um, which is pretty cool. And even copper on its own has a short ring, but when you mix it with tin or zinc, it actually increases the length of the ring time also. So something about mixed metals make them ring longer. I don't know like the exact actual science behind it, but from like the monkey human, you can see that when you're pinging this stuff.
And
So the more pure the metal, the less the resonance has, the less length of the resonance.
now, I was very surprised to find out that women also collect coins and silver bullion. And so, I got this right here. Do you have
Cool.
any more of these available? Because I've had a lot of people say, "Where's the pink ones at?"
Yeah, I just got another case of those in, and I can put them up. I can get those up
Okay,
today, sure.
all right,
And
cool.
they'll be only available at coinpingtest.com and use code SPEG, yeah.
Coin, coinpingtest.com, code SPEG. You save a little bit of money.
Yeah.
And I can't say it here because you told me that I'm sworn to secrecy. But you've got some things on the horizon too, so should probably keep an eye out for the website.
Yeah, or just if you guys go to stackertools.com, right, there's going to be a shop there. So if you want to see what the app looks like, and stackertools.com will take you there. And then you click shop, and that'll take you to coinpingtest.com, and then you can use code SPEG there.
Boom. All right. Anything else we should tell people about before we go?
Um, no, I can't. If you want to keep testing, I've got more cool stuff to show, but I think
Sure.
maybe.
Yeah. No. No. You can definitely keep testing. I want to throw one more thing out here too. This is probably incorrect. I'm looking at your website right now. It says free USA shipping. Is that right?
Yeah, all shipments, so it's $35 shipped anywhere in the USA right now. I think in the future, as the database grows, there will be a price increase for the Pocket Pinger and the app and stuff that is included. But right now, it's $35 shipped anywhere in the US.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's a good value right there. All right, go ahead, man. I'll let you. You want to ping away? Ping away. I'm not going to stop you.
Well, here's
My
something that you actually helped me with. So that's why I want to show this. So this is something that you sent me, I don't know, 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, something like that. So this is one that you said a customer had this and it actually passed the ping test. And you sent it to me for review. And you can see, so it heard 3 out of the 4 peaks, but ping time failed. This coin is actually made out of tin. So
oh,
tin at the correct diameter has a similar peak frequency pattern. It's a little bit chunkier compared to like a real 90% silver coin. But you can see here we gave this a score, a caution. And this coin right here was actually part of the inspiration for this. So we're able to verify ping time, which is another way to verify the quality of the coin that we're testing. And we're also able to catch these cheap counterfeits made out of tin. So I
that's
just wanted you to see
fascinating.
that.
So,
Yeah.
so I didn't even know the viewer that sent me that, and I sent it to you. That was able to help you kind of calibrate the app a little bit, huh?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. This was huge, man. Thank you for that. So yeah, that's pretty much the last thing I wanted to
I
show.
imagine, the counterfeiting, as we've seen, actually, I don't even have to imagine. I just know that counterfeiting gets better and better and better over time.
Yeah,
So there too, so does your, app and information that you have. So you probably have to tweak things once in a while as well.
yeah, yes, absolutely. Yeah, correct.
I'm just going to show this off just because
Everything is getting better. Yeah,
I just
exactly
want
that.
to show this off just for fun. But you have these on your screen. You have some silver bars. There's some silver bars out there that are really just really close to spot price, right? Wherever spot is right now, $34, whatever it is today. I didn't even look, but it's people are like, well, you just lose $34, no big deal. There's some collectors bars out there, and over
Cool.
$100. And man, if you could find out that one of those are fake before you make a purchase, it would really, really save you in the long run. Here's like an example of a bar that's well over $100 for just one stinking bar in the collector's market. So,
Cool.
same thing with coins. You tag a Morgan dollar, you ping a Morgan dollar that's a $1,000 coin, and you find out it's fake, and you're like, you know what? That's $1,000 I just saved myself right there.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like that 8 real that guy had.
Yeah, yeah, and those are rough too because those are a weird percentage of silver. So, do you have eight
Mm.
reals in the app right now, or is that kind of like it's too varied?
I think I stopped so right before the 8 real. So I just one other thing about the app is we don't have a lot of data, so we added this get paid section. I think I did all the Mexican coins all the way back to right before the 8 real. Let me check, but I can get that added if you think that. We went back to 78. Oh no, keep going, keep going, keep going. So our oldest Hispanic coin. Oh, I've got these in the wrong order. Where is it?
When you say there's a
So
get paid section, like my ears perked up. So what are you talking about?
I just haven't put them in here yet. But there's a lot more Hispanic coins that are going to be in here. Yeah. So if we don't have some of the data for some of these things. So let's say we'll do one with a picture. So Silver Britannia, right? So if somebody wants to come in here and they have this coin, we will actually pay them to take a picture of that coin on a scale, take a picture of the date, and then ping the coin. So take the pictures, and they'll ping it, and they can send us these audio files, which gives us that data. And we give them recognition in the app, and we actually just send them money. So you can see the pay me at the bottom there.
So
So we're not signed in, so it's not going to let us do that.
you can make money to help the app.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, so there's a couple people that have already made, like one guy's made $100, another guy's close to $80. Yeah, they're just, as they've gone through their whole collection. About to do a shout out here too for this guy. So Alvin, he just uploaded all these pictures and did all the data for every one of these coins. So he did the entire Kookaburra collection, did the 1 ounce, and then he also did the Chinese Panda 1 ounce, all the pictures and all the pings. So we're gonna get all that in there. So he made, I think, $100 or something like that for that.
Big shout
Took him a couple
out.
hours.
Not only is Alvin helping you, but he's helping the community. So that's really cool. Big shout out.
Yeah, it's cool, right? Yeah, that's a huge help for the community. So these will be live pretty soon. Pretty cool. And then you can see the people that are helping us here. So come over here, certified members, and he's right at the top, Silver Rhino. All these people have made some money so far.
That's cool. So, I mean, the pocket pinger is not the end all be all, but it's a tool that I think that everybody that's in this hobby should definitely have in their arsenal. And I know it's saved me some money by using it. Like I mentioned at the coin shop that had a fake trade dollar, and
Yeah.
a few other times as well. I've helped community members who've sent me fake pieces, and they're like, "Hey," they're like, "It's showing legit on the Sigma." They're like, "Can you test this for me?" Because they're like, "I'm just not sure." And then the
Yeah.
first thing I do is, I magnet it real quick, and then I ping test it. I'm like, "Oh yeah, something's
Hmm.
up." And then like we start diving in a little bit deeper with other tools and stuff, and finding out that you know there's things that the Sigma won't pick up correctly, but the pinger will.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. It's the cool thing about the ping test, it's a full part test. Here, let's show that too. So if your viewers are getting bored, I get it. Sorry for that. This is science here.
I find it
So,
fascinating, so I don't care if people tune out. It's like information for me, which is my whole channel. It's
yeah,
information for me, and if somebody else gets fascinated by it, so be it.
very very cool. Okay, so yeah, so I'll say this. So each one of these, I'll put it in peaks mode. Um, yeah, might as well. So each one of the peaks mode is we're not checking for ping time. So this thing right here could have all the peaks, but then we give a prompt to say check weight and dimensions, just to be clear. So there's pro mode, which is checking for all the things that the entire knowledge base around the topic of pinging coins, all the physics involved is in the pro mode here. In peaks mode, we're only checking for those peaks frequencies. So it's a little bit different, still very, very, very good. Peaks combined with weight and dimensions is enough to catch fake metals. This is better at catching counterfeits. Both of them work to catch fake metal. Okay, so this is a real Morgan dollar. We got it in peaks mode here. I'm going to put it in here and I'm going to tap it. And you can see that all 5 peaks were heard.
Yeah.
And what's actually happening here is each one of these peaks is a different sound that the coin is making while it's pinging. And each one of these sounds comes from a different pattern of vibration happening in the coin. So all these things they're all different patterns of vibration. So one in the middle is going up and down. There's another one swinging around. There's another one that's doing like this like weird 4 pattern. So it's like down here and then up here and then it switches. And all of these are happening simultaneously in the coin. And all of them are important. And to see so because each one's vibrating in a different spot of the coin, so we're actually verifying that it's this alloy all throughout the coin, and so it's a full part test, a true full part test. And so here, check this out. So you see all 5 are there.
Yep.
So if I squeeze the center of the coin and ping it again, you can see now that it only heard 3 of them, and that's because I'm actually blocking the center 2 from ringing, which is pretty interesting, right? So in I don't want to like to say anything bad about the other apps, but the apps that were before this one, they were trained using a fingertip, or the data was using a fingertip, so they're only checking for these 3, and they're not verifying those central resonances, at least not yet. And I don't know if that's because they didn't know the physics and they were just doing observations. So when you ping on a fingertip, sometimes you will only get those 3. And that's because the fingertip is actually kind of padded so that it squishes down, and that squishing dampens the vibration of the coin in the center.
Your app is better than theirs. Just say it, man.
I'll say that this app wouldn't exist if their apps didn't exist, you know?
Right on. Right. All right, listen. I'm not going to take up too much of your time. I think we got the gist that this is a great product. Again, I've mentioned this many times. I've got videos with hundreds of thousands of views for people that have seen your product, so they know it's out there. But there's 100,000 more plus people that need to know about this. I think it's a cheaper product. It's not like something like the Sigma, which is expensive. The XRF, which is unattainable. It's just something you need to have in your pocket for sure. The pocket pinger. Again, coinpingtest.com. I'll put that information, of course, in the description of the video. And use code SPEG. Save some money if you want to. It's your business. If you want to save money, why not, right? Anything?
Yeah. Yeah. One more thing. So if our database is new, And I'll give a shout out to one of the other companies out there that has an app. So there's an app called the Precious Coin Tester. If we don't have a coin that you're looking for and you have a pocket pinger, please reach out to me and I'll try and get it added. Until then, check out the Precious Coin Tester. They've been pretty great at helping us so far. So good
Awesome.
company.
Listen, I really appreciate your time, and I appreciate you making a product that's helped the community. You know, I don't want to say that can help the community. It's legit help the community. I'm sure you've had plenty of people reach out to you via email, like as I have as well. You know, thanking me for letting them know about this thing that has saved them money. So
Yeah,
appreciate you for doing that. And I know that big things are on the horizon. So make sure you guys are checking out the app and checking out the website because new things are always coming out.
cool. Yeah, thanks, Spec. Thanks for your time.
Yes, sir. Thank
And
you.
viewers as well. Thank you.
Well, hello, everybody. I seek to educate and entertain through my journey of collecting coins and stacking precious metals. I encourage you to subscribe and please stay with me on this journey. I am Spegtacular, the Silver Stacular. You know, when I was a kid, we did this every day in school, and I believe we need to bring this back a little bit, and I'm going to start right now. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.